Hey guys, good morning. It's Drew here. Quick video blog. I'm in my home office giving this video blog. I wanted to talk today about inflation. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I see a lot of misinformation going around the media and the internet about inflation. This government has decided that apparently that the main population is stupid. And they've decided it. It's clear to me because instead of just, telling you the truth, they're telling you that inflation is caused by evil company owners that are raising prices. That's not true, and that's never been true of inflation. If you know finance and you know economics, you know that inflation is caused by the Federal Reserve increasing the money supply, the dollar, printing more money, all those rounds of quantitative easing, those rounds of $1 trillion stimulus checks where they just put more money in circulation. That's what debases the currency. Then, because the currency is debased, raw materials increase in value by default. There's nobody pushing a lever and saying that oil is going to go up right now and pushing a button. There's nobody pushing a button and saying gold is going to go up. These raw materials and these commodities are fixed stores of values. They're finite in supply. So obviously, if the currency is debased, if the paper currency is debased, these materials and these commodities have to increase in value. And they do, because anybody who holds them would be stupid to accept a lower price for them. That's pretty much how inflation works. It's not that so food, for example, how is food impacted by this? Well, how does food get to your grocery stores? It's trucked in. It's trucked in through truckers. What do truckers rely on? Truckers rely on oil. Some people are transitioning now to electric, so that they don't have to rely on oil to do such things, or self-driving trucks or whatever to reduce costs. But the point is that inflation occurs at the highest level. It occurs from the Federal Reserve. It starts from there. It starts from poor government and poor Federal Reserve policy. Okay, that's why you didn't see this kind of inflation when Trump was in office. Okay, you're seeing it now by design. I personally think that they're doing it on purpose, because if they didn't want this to occur, there's many ways and many means. There's many ways and there's many ways and many means that this could be avoided. Sorry, my watch was interrupting. There's many ways and there's means that this could be avoided, but instead they marched right into it. Those of you that received stimulus checks, I know that you were happy at the moment, but now you're paying for it. And now the sad thing is that you're actually going to keep paying for it. You're going to keep paying for it. It's not like you're just paying for it once. You're going to keep paying for it. How if you have insurance, right? You get into a car accident and they raise your rates, right? And their rates stay up forever. That it's the same concept, except with inflation, the actual money that you're using to pay for items is worth less. Is worth less than it was before. Okay, so that's what you're seeing. That's why you're seeing the increase in things around you. It's not just that company owners are evil. Company CEOs didn't just wake up and say, let's just price gouge our customers. That's not how it works. Okay, now I know the media would love to frame it this way. And additionally, there's a lot of people who don't understand economics. And mainly, I would say on the liberal side. I don't really see this on the conservative side. I see this on the liberal side. They willfully ignorant about economics. They think that, these things come down to evil, good and evil. It doesn't. It doesn't come down to good and evil. Okay. It comes down to mathematical equations at the end of the day. Okay. Sure. It could come down to good and evil because at the end of the day, the government and the Federal Reserve have decided to go down this path. But, when you're looking at a company owner, or the millionaire mom and pop shop owner down the street, those guys are not made, just because somebody's a millionaire or somebody's a billionaire doesn't mean that they're taking money from you. More than likely, actually, it's the opposite. They probably provided a product or service that you've used, that you willingly paid for the most part. You could take any billionaire, not any, but most. You could take most billionaires. I don't know, Bill Gates is the first one that comes to mind. I don't like him. I think that he's a little bit of a weirdo, a little bit of an evil weirdo. But in general, he's wealthy because everybody uses Microsoft. He's not wealthy because he decided, let me just, jack up my prices. No, they created something that people want and use and need, and people pay for it. I pay for Microsoft Office 365. You know what I mean? So I know. So I use the tools. So that's why he gets paid. That's why he gets money. The same thing. The owners of ExxonMobil or whatever, they get paid because people need to pay for gas. People pay for gas. So they get the owner of Kellogg's cereal, whatever, they get paid because people want cereal. It's really that simple. These people are not waking up and saying, look, we're just going to pillage you and take your money. Like, no, if anything, the only entity that does that is the government. The government is the only entity that literally says, pay me X amount of what you make every year or you're going to jail. That's the only entity that does that is the government. So it's ironic to me that every single time some kind of financial crisis happens, people start looking at companies. When if anything, companies are the ones that keep the economy going. There is no economy without companies. Do you understand that? There's no economy without entrepreneurs and without companies. Entrepreneurs and companies provide the opportunities. The workers come and take the opportunity for them, take a slice of the opportunity by working there. And then they use the money that comes from that opportunity to fuel their own dreams. That's typically how it works. Okay? So these people who produce these narratives are either ignorant or disingenuous. It's either or. They either don't know anything about economics or finance, or they understand, but they're just trying to turn it into something else. The vast majority, I think, just don't understand anything about economics and finance. And that's obvious because only the top 10% of people are actually wealthy or actually rich. I wouldn't consider myself wealthy, but I would consider myself rich because I make more than 99% of society. I earn $1 million a year. So obviously I'm in the rich category, but I'm not in the wealthy category. Wealthy people are people who are billionaires, in my opinion. People who are way, way up there. Elon Musk, he's wealthy, supremely wealthy. People, Kanye West is worth about 6 billion, right? He's wealthy. Jay-Z, wealthy. You know what I mean? Guy like me, I'm rich. I'm not wealthy. I'm maybe someday I'll get there. If I don't have to get there. I'm still pretty comfortable where I'm at. I still love where I'm at. I don't have to be a billionaire to be happy. You know what I mean? So my point is this: when you watch these things, when you watch the news, watch it with some skepticism, because all they're talking about these days is just lies. They're just lying to people. And I know because I know economics and I know finance. That's how I own all these businesses. I own these businesses, and I own a mansion at 36 years old because I know business. I know economics. I know finance. There was no shortcut for me. There was no, okay, just kind of like go work for daddy's company and then daddy makes you a millionaire. No, that's not how I came up. I had to know my numbers. I had to know what I was talking about. So if I know what I'm talking about, it shows in my results. I get paid to know what I'm talking about. I make money by making other people money. So I know what I'm talking about. I have to know inflation. I have to know hyperinflation. I have to know supply and demand. I have to know price elasticity. I have to know these things. I have to know statistics. I have to know the numbers. Because if I didn't know it, I wouldn't be in business. Do you understand? So there's no agenda here. When I'm talking to you guys through these videos, I just want the public to be a little bit more intelligent. Because, even though I know what I'm talking about, the vast majority of people do not. And because the vast majority of people do not, we find ourselves in these predicaments where the government is taking advantage of the ignorance of the majority, And so what good is it to be rich in a society where everybody's poor? What good is that? What good is that? You know what I mean? Like, what good is it to be somebody who can see in a land of the blind? You'll be ridiculed. People hate you. Because they'll think that you're part of the evil establishment or something, or you did some kind of trick, when in reality, you just educated yourself and worked your butt off. Guys, when you watch this stuff, watch it with an ounce of skepticism. Watch it with an ounce of skepticism. Take everything with a grain of salt. They're not always telling you the truth. And that's all I got to say. God bless. Peace.